Welcome back, Campfire Archives. My friends have always been weird. One by one, do some manly work. Logger, oil field worker, construction worker. They're all rough. And me. It's an outlier in this group of old high school classmates. I got it. They keep beating me up for being an otaku. I'm also unceremoniously ironic that I don't like computers or dig a hole with you. Strange to say, our combination doesn't seem to match. It's always been in tune, and we all got together at a bar. Not many opportunities for this kind of full staff to arrive. It's rare for everyone to relax, drink and chat. Tell some thrilling stories about work. Someone brought up the oil field explosion a few years ago. Killed 3 people on the spot. Danny, the woodcutter, says. Once he was more than 10 meters away, a steel basket whoosh ripped off a colleague's arm. He held a pair of deadly pressure on his wound. He was wailing and sobbing. Finally, I waited 2 hours for the helicopter to arrive. I sat there without saying a word. It's hopeless. My heart is torn whether to tell my experience or not. It's the kind of experience one dares not mention casually. I'm afraid I'll feed him a mouthful of blood when I say it. Let him come back to life in my memory. But what did everyone say? I'm so out of place if I don't say a word anymore. So I pressed down the dryness in my throat, suppressed the voice in my heart that told me not to say. I said something. I have one too. The voice is a little trembling. They look forward to seeing me. I was a little surprised myself. Come on, talk about it. Their eyes are looking forward to it. So I spoke. I'm in a small town in Alaska with teleworking. Live alone. There's a small liberal arts college in town. Hundreds of people. The heart of the town. Next to the college is an Aboriginal reservation. Tribal portrait, like a park ranger. Responsible for the forest in a radius in 100 miles. My store is connected to the college. I watered the garden at the back of the house that day, about 200 meters from the house. The weather is unbelievably good in broad daylight. I'm orthogonal. Suddenly I heard deep in the woods. A strange sound came, like someone talking, but like a bad cell phone signal. The kind of rhythm that can only be heard vaguely, a fragment of a few words. It's like talking about me. He goes to these words. I was stunned. Take the hose and listen for a while, but not afraid. Think back now. Maybe that's because it was daylight. The sun is shining in my backyard, so I wasn't really alert. After 30 seconds, the sound stopped. I just turned off the water. I look around. Nothing. I didn't take it too seriously at the time. I thought maybe someday we could chat as a small episode. It didn't take long for me to almost forget. This is the first place I regret. A couple of weeks later, I went for a walk on the trail in the woods behind my house. The road was paved last summer, but lack of maintenance. It's already a bit overgrown by now. I'm looking down and thinking about something, enjoying the sunshine and the tranquility of the forest. Suddenly I heard that strange sound again, from the distant woods. Strangely enough, and the forest around it suddenly became very quiet. I'm not the adventurous type. Always prefer to look timid. I don't want anything to happen. I didn't run, just quietly walking back. I don't want to be targeted by some big animal. Thinking about the next time Danny comes, be sure to talk to him. 2 weeks later, I was standing on that trail again. The reason is that I made a bet with Danny. He didn't believe in the voices in the woods. He asked me to go with him to find out, but Danny didn't wait for me. After leaving me a message, one step into the forest, I looked at this seemingly mundane path. Take a deep breath, checked the backpack, repair spray, and a handful. A brand new machete I can't even use. It's just a voice. I console myself. Walked for about an hour. I heard that familiar voice, just about 100 yards ahead by the woods. Business as usual in the forest. Insect song and bird song, wind blowing leaves. Naturally, I kept going, and I walked around looking for Danny. It's getting closer to the sound. I subconsciously touched the handle of the knife. Take a closer look. The sound came from a black. It's from the little colored speaker. It's hanging from a tree trunk, about 10 feet off the ground. The name of the university is written on the side of the speaker, and the words Department of Forestry. Oh, I see. I was relieved to withdraw the knife. I called the forestry department at the university after a phone call is transferred. The dean picked it up in person. He wasn't bored, but willing to answer questions. So he says, "This is an art project done by former students. You can write poems and record them. Let the speakers in the forest play on a loop. The equipment is solar powered. It's updated every semester. Content in the player. However, due to complaints from nearby Aboriginal people, call it a nuisance, they canceled the project." He estimated that the speaker I saw, it's the one they missed. After hanging up the phone, I called Danny to share this update. Danny was disappointed. Of course, I lost the bet this time. Mystery solved. I wanted to let go of this burden. In the days that followed, I often went for walks in the woods. As soon as spring is over, I went into the woods again, this time with tents and camping equipment. Planned to set up camp at the end of the trail. Walked for over an hour. I passed that speaker again. This time he was quiet. I went in to see that the wiring was aging. It seems that it was completely broken during the winter. I keep going. A few hours later, I set up my tent for camping. It's still early, and I decided to take another turn up the mountain. See if you can find a good spot. The sun is just right. I was a little lost in the woods. Suddenly, I heard that familiar voice again. This time is different. He is clearer. No noise. As I got closer, I heard what sounded like a woman's voice, reading poetry. This is the kind of art program the dean was talking about. I found a rock and sat down to drink water. Listened to the poetry and the sounds in the forest. Although it still feels a little strange, but much better than before. Didn't sit for a few minutes. I'm just going to keep going. Then I heard another voice. Somewhere in the bushes came a low, weird babbling. The pitch is like the ups and downs of a person speaking, but the stress of words. It landed in a very strange place again. It's creepy. For a moment the forest was silent, as if someone had pressed the mute button. I rely on me to curse in a low voice. I skinned something through the bushes, and I was wide awake. Instinctively manipulate the body and start running. Ran dozens of meters. My brain just reacted. That's a hand. An elongated, twisted hand. Belongs to the same thing as that voice. That hand doesn't look right. Unnatural joints. The skin is loose and gray. Nails are like animal claws. Then I heard him behind me, learn my voice, and repeat what I said. Shit. Like a child learning to speak, trying to imitate. But the tone had a strange sense of help. I dare not look back. Just ran for a while, into the small clearing where I camped. I stopped and stared at the tent. Tent open. There's my stuff in there. I hesitated for half a second. The heart said no. And then you run. After about 30 seconds, I stopped again. Something is wrong with this forest. No birds, no wind, no buzzing, only silence. Like the whole forest is covered with a glass cover. I couldn't move. Something tells me he's still around, is looking at me, but it's not what it feels like to be seen. It is the kind of research, the feeling of being confirmed as real. I held back, like a plant, standing there like a dummy. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. My lungs are about to explode. The brain is starved of oxygen. The forest is still dead silent. After about a minute or so, my ability to hold my breath has reached its limit. Suddenly, the forest suddenly came to life again. The chirping of insects and birds resumed again. The rustling of the grass reassured me, and I was gasping for air. Sitting on the ground, he must have left, until I got to the edge of the woodland near home. It's getting dark. I'm still holding back my unease. Pretend to be calm, but in fact, I'm about to collapse. The sound of every branch makes my heart beat faster. The swaying of every leaf makes me suspect that something is following me in the bar. When I finished the story, all my friends were silent. They were all dumbfounded. My hands, unconsciously combing back and forth in the hair. The whole person is still shaking. It's like there's a gun pointed at you, but you can't see him. I whispered, but you know, as long as you move, he will shoot. He will know you are there. He will know that you are real. I never went back to get the tent. I took a sip of my beer, tried to end in a joking tone, but the response from friends was still heavy. Just forced a smile. Keep looking down at the glass, table or floor. Brother, after a while, only then did someone whisper, "You said you saw a twisted hand." Well, I answered, heavy tone, and nobody talked much after that, until we check out and leave, 0 when going out. And a friend pulled me aside, asked me in a low voice, "What you just said is true." And I was looking up at starry Alaska. The night sky was silent for a few seconds, and I finally did. There is something in this world no one can explain. And I said, okay, they don't have names, but I think someone will always bump into them. And smart people, or lucky people, like I can still tell the story. He stared at me for a moment. Then he nodded and walked to his car. "Good night," he said. Goodnight, One Reach. Of course, I didn't tell him the story and the follow-up. No, I didn't. It wasn't a force that stared at me in the forest that day. It's not some unseen horror. He is a real thing, a monster. He looks like a man, elongation, all over twisted, but with a strange human silhouette. I was slowly backing towards a tree. That's when he emerged from the bushes. That's the shape of a person. His limbs are too slender. It's like elongating the bone. Gray skin, translucent face. God, that face is transforming. What the hell? I am almost. He clicked and clicked as he walked. Head wiggles like Play-Doh. The eye sockets slowly sag into the same shape as mine. His nose caved in, then bulge. He's mimicking the bridge of my nose. The corners of his mouth cracked from the base of his ears. It was put back together a few seconds later, gradually imitating the shape of my lips. His voice is also changing. Imitate what I said. He's repeating what I just said. What the hell are these 5 words? I tried to run, but he suddenly stopped. Then slowly open your mouth. That's not a tongue in the mouth. It was black. The squirming pieces of meat seemed to be shaping. It's like he's trying to learn the structure of my voice. Color began to appear on his skin. It's the pattern on my clothes, vague and distorted, but without a doubt, doing what I'm doing. My stomach churned. I yelled, finally free from that frozen fear. Turn around and run. The monster behind him starts to run. His pace was uncoordinated at first, like a baby just learning to walk, but soon adjusted. He seems to have memorized my running style, mimic my breathing rhythm, leg angle, even your favorite arm swing when running. Run for a long time. I finally saw a rock at the edge of the forest. I rushed over and tried my best to hide in the back. He didn't follow. I'm hiding there panting. The heart almost jumped out of my chest. And then, like I said, I held my breath and ducked, returned home. I was fortunate to save my life, but his image was deeply seared into my corner of the eye. After that, I spent a lot of time researching. I found a homeless man missing. The police found only his mutilated body, just a part of it. I also found a name, Archidicity. I got back in touch with the dean of the university. This is to see the original request to dismantle the broadcast. Grandson of an Aboriginal shaman. His name is Ida. We met the next day. I don't know how to explain this to you. So he says, my grandfather and I may have a different opinion. It's okay, I said. Tell me about it. You know what? All the things that are alive today. In fact, they are all genetically related. Even if bacteria catch up, we can also find a common ancestor. We all belong to the same big family, Archidicity. I think they, not from this big family. I think they're from somewhere else, place. And there's a pause, as if waiting for me to give a skeptical look. But I didn't say anything. I know, I don't doubt it. This is no joke. He went on. I still have a Starbucks in my hand. His tone suddenly became heavy. Everyone in college thought my grandfather was crazy. Do you think he's crazy? I asked about Archidicity. His eyes suddenly became deep. The kind of face from a young person. Invisible sophistication and anxiety. I was stunned. No, he's not. Because I have also seen. That was 5 or 6 years ago. I was 13, he went on. I roamed the woods on a quad. It's too fast. Not careful at all. I used to be a silly boy. Did a lot of stupid things. I was in a sparse forest, so you can look far away. I saw an animal lying ahead. I turned around and approached, and it was a deer. I sucked the engine, slowly slide past in neutral, about 20 feet away from him. I think he might be hurt. He can't move his hind legs. You can only drag yourself forward with your front legs. I feel like he stepped on a trap or something. I want to let him go, reach for the knife. The moment I bowed my head, the thing's head swung towards me. Not the kind of person who hears voices, then slowly turn your head to see the action. It's a mechanism. He turned his head towards me. He doesn't look right. It's like someone wants to make a doll, but got the wrong part. His whole body is twisted. Scary swollen eyes, just staring at me like that. And I had the feeling that he was studying me, judging what I am, staring motionless. After a few seconds he turned around. Keep dragging your body away. That's when my grandfather told me about Arkadaisi. Mention, he said it was an evil spirit born deep in the forest. They are attracted to signs of life, sound, line of sight, etc. When they find some kind of life, will try to imitate. In imitation, they take the target apart first in order to achieve the most similar. Once they succeed in imitating something, they will find a way to find more similar organisms. To make better possession, I don't know why. That's what my grandfather said. They can capture from sound the most essential characteristics of the copied object. Therefore, they began to dismantle, explain other characteristics of the copied object. But most of the time, they don't. Occasionally one appears like a deer, or a canine archidicity. If the shaman comes forward, he will deal with it, then you later. What to do with the one you see? I asked. They caught a real deer, brought it to Archidicey, because the only way to kill them is to have them replicate one, something that is dying. If they were allowed to replicate humans and blend into human society, that's trouble. Then you throw them the animals. Can't kill them at all. Before he finished speaking, I stole the words. I have seen one. And I said, okay. Pardon me, he asked in surprise. I think I know your grandfather. Why so persistent? Have them take out the speakers. He was worried about. It really happened. Wait a minute. Slow down. What do you mean? A dozen asked in a panic. A humanoid Aka DCT appeared in the forest. What did I say? I told Ida about my experience. I think he may have partially copied someone first, and then copied half of me. But he may not be fully formed yet. I said. Ida looked serious. You were right to hold your breath. He said it saved your life. A few hours later, we're standing behind my house. The entrance to the forest path. It's getting late. There's only about an hour of daylight left. Ida brought a group of tribal shamans. They talked in low voices. There are more than a dozen women and children next to them. Some women are crying. Ida, what happened? I asked him in a low voice, but he lost his memory. I'll wait first. The group of shamans finally dispersed, and one of them was walking right up to us. He looks about 60 years old. I guess he's Ida's grandfather. He's not talking to us, just nodded, and he walked down the path alone. Although he is old, but the figure still looks strong and powerful. Feathers and standing lines on the body, but his whole person exuded dangerous atmosphere. He wore a magnificent stone knife at his waist. After a while, I asked, when will he be back? Ida just gave me a peace of mind, but sad eyes. He's not coming back. I suddenly remembered what Ida said before. The only way to kill them is to have them replicate one. A dying life. I look at Ida. Ida nodded at me. Is there no other way? Throw the road in again. It's useless. He's already copied people. There is no other way but this. My legs went limp, sitting on the ground. Ida, because I'm going to lose my grandfather. But he came back to comfort me. I looked into the forest again. Ida's grandfather's back has disappeared. All that's left is darkness.